Hi, so I just want to make a response video to this recent video that's been on YouTube for about 6 days by Mark Zero. And it goes into detail about the role that Darth Vader may play in episode 9. And I just want to point out that I think this concept is quite ridiculous. Why would Disney want to bring back a previous character that would overshadow Rey? Rey is the key figure of Star Wars. Now I have no objection with that, the idea that, a female character, I think it's really fantastic. Especially, we've had Princess Leia nearly 40 years ago, we've had Kill Bill. So there are some really great female characters. What sadly happened, I think the way Rey's been portrayed is terrible. It's all come to her very easily. And she does have some real elements of a Mary Sue character. But why would Disney spend 2 movies building up a character only for her to be overshadowed by Darth Vader? It goes against the whole concept of making a trilogy and creating a forward-thinking franchise that goes into the future. The same with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is meant to be the arch nemesis, almost the replacement for Darth Vader. So if they bring Darth Vader back, it then relegates Kylo Ren to the second-placed villain. So it completely depletes the whole concept of the future of Star Wars, because it's not just this franchise or this trilogy we need to think about. It's more the longer term. What's going to happen 5 years from now? What's going to happen 10 years from now? Now, also, surely Darth Vader will be an old man, so he'll actually passed away through old age. So the idea that any suggestions that Darth Vader may come back is just ridiculous. And it's really astonishing that people might even conceive that as possible. And I think it's really terrible that people are putting these ideas out just to attract attention, because they obviously have no common belief in the idea themselves, because it's just completely irrational. And I want to show you another example. So the other example is this recent article on Cosmic Book News, and it also suggests that Darth Vader may come back for episode 9. But if you go through this article, there's actually no mention of Rey. So Rey is the lead character. You also have Kylo Ren. But if we actually do Control F and do a search for Rey, there's absolutely no mention of Rey. Why would someone produce an article suggesting that a character may come back and not discuss the impact it will have on the lead character? In the photo or the image, it's got Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is no longer the lead character of Star Wars. It's now Rey, and it's like a new generation. They want this female character to be the future of Star Wars, which is completely understandable. If there's no mention of Rey or even Kylo Ren, I really struggle to understand how this can be considered legitimate conversation or material. Now, there is some artwork that's alleged to be based on Anakin and Darth Vader, but if there's no comment on how it will overplay or interfere with the role of Rey, it's almost meaningless. It's really poor journalism in my view, and I think that this sort of content is really muddying the water of Star Wars fandom, because there's no real value to it. There's no real discussion on how it will impact the key characters in Star Wars. So if you do see this sort of content, I just want to be very mindful that it needs to focus on the key characters. Disney won't spend millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, building up 2 characters, Kylo Ren and Rey, only to have a previous character, whoever that previous character is, whether it's Darth Vader or anybody else, to come back and take their place as the key character. It's just not going to happen. So I just want to be very mindful of what you see in the future, how legitimate the concepts and ideas are.